First of all, I'm teaching from a different room because we've got some morning classes coming up and I'm trying new locations.
Yeah.
In March, we will have morning class on Tuesday and on Friday. It's going to be a yin or / restorative class. And a few weeks, you asked me actually, what is the difference between yin and restorative? So today we're going to practice a little bit of yin combined with vinyasa. And it's called Yinyasa. So Yinyasa is a combination of yin and vinyasa. And we always do yin first because yin is a practice that you do before you're already warmed up.
I was guessing the contrary, the opposite. Like first warming up and then relaxation with yin.
Exactly, it makes sense. But if you do want to relax after a workout or after vinyasa, then I would recommend restorative yoga.
Ah, okay.
In restorative yoga, you hold the poses for maybe 10 to 13 minutes. And it really is for deep relaxation of the muscles and the nervous system and the body, your mind. But with yin, you really want to warm up and get deep into the tissues of the body. So to really open up the hips, the shoulders, and you want to do that cold when you haven't done anything yet. So I hope you didn't practice yoga or went for a run already. Don't search for pain or anything. My teacher always used to say, real pain, or we've got little girl's pain. If you have little girl's pain, you can go for it.
Yeah.
If it's real pain, you have to stop or just come a little bit out of it.
Okay.
All right. Let's start off in child's pose. And if you have blocks or if you have a blanket, bring it as well. Now I'll have to. Well, with anything, try to find something that's comfortable. Not that it's too comfortable, so because we do want to feel a little bit of a stretch. And we will start using them more often now. Because when I first started practicing, I always felt like, oh, I don't need any blocks because I'm really flexible and open already. But now that I'm doing my training again, I feel like actually this brings just so much more comfort into my practice. So I do recommend. Beautiful. So bring your knees to the outside of the mat. Or if that's too much to start with, bring the knees together. Arms out long in front of you. Take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, release the head. Relax your neck, your shoulders. And just take a few minutes here to get comfortable, connect to your breath. Noticing sensations in the body. Noticing what it feels like to be in your body today. Take deep breaths in. And long breaths out. And see how maybe on every exhale you can bring the bum by your hips closer to your heels. So at the start of this practice, we're going to hold a little bit longer than we normally do. If you need to move at any point, feel free to do so. And don't be afraid to get a little bit uncomfortable. But you know when it's too much. Listen to your body. Really stay connected to your breath. And let your breath help you to get deeper into the poses. You already know that when we exhale, we can get deeper into any twist. The same counts for poses like these in yin or restorative. Where in restorative we focus on relaxation. In yin it's more a deep stretch. And get rid of any kinks that we build up during other practices or workouts. Or simply the tension we build up when we work behind a desk. Take one more breath in. Slowly prepare yourself to get out. And when you're ready, lift the upper body, press through the fingertips. And come to an all fours position, but keep your knees wide. From here, drag the right leg to the side and spread the left leg behind you or straighten. Slowly bring the hips down and you will feel that the knee now is in line with the hip and your ankle is in line with the knee. And you're in a frog-like position. You can't really see because of the colors. But basically we've got the knee to the side. And your ankle in line with the knee as well. Frog position. When you're here, bring the elbows down, see how you feel. If you like, you can bring the hands on top of each other and relax the forehead on the mat. Or sorry, on your palms. Inhale. And on an exhale, get even deeper. Allow yourself to connect to the breath and let the breath get into the pose. Relax your head. Relax your neck. Let's dive into the theme of the practice a little bit. Because today it's all about loving kindness and compassion. And it's something that we are not practicing for the first time. We've been focusing on compassion a lot already this year. But I think it's a really important aspect of life and of yoga. Because compassion is not only the compassion that we show our partner or our friends, our family members, or a pet. Compassion shows up in many different ways. So ask yourself what compassion means to you and how it takes shape in your life. If your legs start to tremble or to shake, try and embrace it. If any sensations or deep emotions come up, try to embrace them. Especially when we focus on opening the hips. It may be that all kind of things come to your mind. Maybe that you feel things that you haven't felt for a while or a long time. Try to not put them away or ignore, because really it's a sign of your body trying to tell you something. It can simply be an energy that you need to release. Or any stuck emotions that you've been dealing with for a while. Slowly prepare yourself to switch sides. You can start by lifting your head, lifting the upper body. Push yourself up slowly, gently, with care and compassion. Bring the knees together. Neutralize here. And then slide the left leg to the side. Slide the right leg behind you. And see how that automatically brings your hips down. Again, make sure that the knee is in line with the hip, the ankle in line with your knee. We're in this frog-like position. If you can, take the same variation as you did on the other side. But it might be that this side feels really different. So if you can't, stay here on your elbows. You can always bring the hands on top of each other. Maybe the opposite hand on top this time. And relax your head. Let your breath help you to get deeper into the pose. And let your breath help you to stay in your practice. Especially when we hold poses for a longer amount of time, it's very easy to get distracted, to think of your to-do list, to think of any obstacles that are in your life at the moment. So if you feel distracted at any point, come back to your breath, back to the sensations in the body. Soon we're going to move again and open the hips a little more. So when you're ready, start to bring yourself up with ease. Take it super slow. Come back to all fours. And if you have a blanket or a block in front of you, I recommend grabbing it because for most of us here it's the morning. Come to all fours. And since it's the morning, we're probably not very open, and I do recommend using a block or a blanket for the next pose. So stretch the right leg behind you, maybe even come onto the toes and feel the stretch in the calf. On an exhale, lift the leg, bring the knee to your nose, and then place the right the right ankle behind the left wrist and the right knee behind the right wrist. Come into pigeon. And as you see, I'm sitting on my blanket, so I've got my hips elevated or lifted a little bit. This way I can keep my shoulders in line with the hips and bring the elbows down. We've all been in pigeon before. And it might feel very different this morning than it does on a Wednesday evening. Because the body is simply not as open as it is during the evening. So bring your elbows down. See how you feel here. Try to not sink into the shoulders. Stay active in the upper body. And if you can, if you like, bring the arms out long in front of you and relax the forehead on the mat. Again, use your breath to sink deeper into your pigeon, to feel more of a stretch in the back of your thigh and the hip. And allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to be curious. You may know that the hips store our emotions. So it may be that there are emotions that are showing up right now. Maybe that you don't feel anything. There's no right or wrong. There's nothing that you should feel. Be curious to your own experience of pigeon today. Slowly get ready to switch sides. Bring yourself up Place the hands so that the knees in between, and you can easily lift yourself up to all fours, or maybe even a wider stand, a variation of all fours. Straighten the left leg behind you. Press through the toes. Feel a little bit of a stretch in your calf. Inhale. And on an exhale, lift the foot. Bring the knee to your nose. And then make the movement so that your foot comes behind the right wrist and the knee behind the left wrist. If you need your block or a blanket, place it underneath. Your hands in front of you. Try to keep the knees, your hips in line with the shoulders. But know that everybody is different. We're not looking for a perfect pose or position. Slowly bring the hands forward. Drop the elbows. Stay here if you like. Or bring the arms out long in front of you. And relax the head and neck. Try to relax your shoulders. And for the first few moments, notice the sensations in the body. For most people, there is a difference between each side. If you're in any way uncomfortable, try to find a position that you can hold for 4 to 5 minutes. And deepen the breath. Stay connected. Prepare yourself to come out of your pigeon again. Push yourself up through an exhale. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and press back into all fours. If you have a blanket or anything underneath, put it to the side and grab a block or a book. So there's 3 stands on a block. We've got the lowest side. We've got stand 2, position 2. It's a little bit higher. And when you place it on the short side, it will become really tall. Now I'm going to leave it on the lowest side because my arms are really long. But if you feel like you would like to have it a little bit higher, that's okay as well. I'm going to stretch our toes and a little bit of a sensation in the calves while activating the thighs. So place your hands on the block or a book. If you don't have it, don't worry. You can easily do it on the mat as well. But the block gives you like a nice bit of grip to hold on to or push away. Now come to all fours, tuck the toes, activate your spine or suck the low belly in, and on an exhale, push yourself or push the arms away from the block while you sink the hips a little bit down. We're not coming all the way down, just a bit. Really push the toes into the mat and try to feel your pinky toe as well, pushing in. Maybe you want to place a pinky toe on the mat so you can really feel all toes pushing away from you and enjoying a big stretch there. Activate your thighs, really push the hands, the palms, or the fingertips in your block or the mat. Suck the low belly in, so we're super active. And keep breathing. Keep your shoulders low so they're not in your neck. Try to relax your head. Connect to your breath. Feel the sensations. Embrace the sensations. Keep pushing. Stay active. And on your next exhale, slowly release. Untuck the toes. Maybe bring the hips towards your heels and come into narrow child's pose. Hands out long in front of you, or maybe to the toes or the feet this time. I'm just going to take a few breaths before we make our next transition. Just noticing again what's going on, what you feel. And if there's any weird tension that you haven't felt before, you might even feel like a flow of energy going through certain body parts, as if it's releasing, like an electrical shock. When you're ready, slowly come out of your child's pose. Bring the arms out long in front of you. Drop the elbows and slide forward straight into your Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath the shoulders, the chest pressing forward through the shoulder blades or through the collarbones. So the sensation might be difficult to explain because it's different for everybody. We really want to keep the chest open. Suck your lower belly in, so it's not on the mat, it's a little bit off. Active thighs, active calves, and I like to lift my kneecaps from the mat as well. Look forward or maybe open the throat a little bit and look up. Keep breathing. If you have practiced Ujjayi breath before, feel free to connect to that as well. Especially when we're opening the throat, this might be really nice. Notice the sensations in the body. And notice that if you feel like coming out, if you can hold it a little bit longer. What is the thought pattern behind the thought that you want to come out? Why is it uncomfortable? And why do you want to give up? The body is so much stronger than the mind thinks. So trust it. Let's take 3 more breaths. Really pressing through the fingertips, the elbows, sucking the belly in, lifting the kneecaps. Press the heart through the collarbones. Keep the shoulders low. 2 more breaths. And if you shake, remember it's a good thing. It's energy releasing from the body. On your next exhale, slowly bring yourself all the way down. Maybe even bring the hands underneath on top of each other, underneath the head. For this time, relax your hips, relax your legs and move from side to side. When you're ready, straighten the left hand in line with the shoulder. Lift the right foot, bend the knee. Then place the right hand behind the chest and roll over so your foot comes behind you. Your hips are in line on the side, so we're not too far open. The hips still stay in line. And we're focusing on the stretch in the shoulder, maybe a little bit in the hip, nothing too much. Take the right arm overhead and place the fingertips on the mat if you like. You can also just leave the hand next to the chest. If you want more, you can place the hands underneath your waist so it comes into a bind. Or maybe even interlace your hands behind the back. Find what you need. There's a lot of options. And I want to keep it open and available to everyone. So find what's comfortable for you today. Wherever you are, try to keep the right shoulder away from your ear. Focus on having your hips in one line. Doesn't have to be a perfect line. And focus on the sensations in the left shoulder. It might be that you feel very vulnerable here because your heart is opening up, your chest is opening up. Again, it might be that you don't feel anything. Wherever you feel, just try and become aware of the sensations they give you. What thoughts come to mind? So when we practice for compassion, I like to link it to loving kindness. Loving kindness is a meditation practice that's believed to bring you happiness. Buddhists even believe it's one of the pathways to happiness. So take a minute to think of what loving kindness means to you. And in what way this practice takes shape in your life. Let's take one more deep breath in. If you have your right hand behind you, slowly take it back. Place the right hand next to your chest. Roll over to neutral position or with your belly flat on the mat. Inhale for cobra. And on an exhale, come back. Straighten the right hand in line with the shoulder. Lift the left foot, bend the knee. And slowly roll over to the opposite side. And again, checking in with the body. Make sure that the hips are in one line. Take your left arm overhead. Maybe just leave it in front of the chest. Maybe to the outside of the right waist. And then maybe interlace your hands behind your back. Whatever you need today, whatever is comfortable. Connect to your breath. Let your breath help you get deeper into the pose. And let your breath help you relax into the pose. Even though we want to focus on releasing tension, we want to be able to stay here for a bit longer. So loving kindness is a combination of many things. It's friendliness, understanding, it could even be friendship, loving somebody and something. There are many different qualities involved. Many times we find it very easy to show compassion for other people. We're not very compassionate with ourselves. So come back to that thought of loving kindness and what it means to you. Come back to the thought of compassion and what it means to you. How do those two relate? And what role do they play in your life? In just a moment, we're going to bring some heat into the body. To warm up a bit more and energize for the rest of the day. So notice what you feel now. Notice if you can see, or if you can just put it to the side. If you feel very emotional, really do embrace it. Don't switch yourself off. But see if you can observe those feelings rather than drowning into those feelings. Inhale. And on an exhale, slowly release. Place the left hand next to the chest. Roll over to your belly. Come to neutral. Hands next to your chest. And on an inhale, lift for cobra. Exhale, come down. Tuck your toes. Lift the kneecaps. And when you're ready, push into a plank. Push straight back to down dog and find some movement. Bend your knees, lift your heels, spread the fingertips wide, and bring the insides of the elbows closer to your head. So we're kind of rolling the arms away from the head. Lift your hips up high, suck the low belly in. Keep moving. And when you're ready, come to stillness. Just a couple of breaths there in your down dog. Notice the energy flow through the body. And notice the differences. This down dog might feel different than the down dogs that you do in another practice or another day. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Bend the knees, lift the heels, and walk your feet towards the hands. Place the feet behind the wrists, bend the knees, and take opposite elbows for a big stretch in the upper back. Maybe bring the hips down even more. Try to bring the belly onto your thighs, or keep them close to your thighs while you straighten while you straighten your legs, but keep a micro bend in the knees. Sway from side to side. When you're ready, come to center. Lift your hands on the mat, and on an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up. Grab your left wrist, bend to your right. Inhale to center, grab your right wrist, bend to your left. Come to center, straight through the midline, all the way down, forward fold. Again, find your little sway. Release the hands. Bring the feet together and step the right foot back. Come to a low lunge. Now move your left foot towards the outside of the mat and sink your hips a little bit lower. Place your hands on the mat and come into lizard pose. Option 1, staying here. Option 2, come onto your elbows. Just a couple of breaths. Maybe find movement coming back and forth. Press through the elbows. And come back on your hands. And step the right foot next to the right hand. Straight into yogi squat. Or a frog variation. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, place the hands on the mat. Lift the hips, come all the way into your forward fold. Bring the feet together. Exhale, release. Inhale, hands on your thighs, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lift all the way up. Maybe take a back bend this time. And exhale, down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. Place your hands on the mat, step the left foot back. Walk the right foot to the outside of the mat and come into your lizard variation. So bring a knee down if you like, or stay up. Bring the elbows down if you like, or keep your hands on the mat. Just a couple of breaths. Really feeling into the body, creating some heat. And again, notice the sensations. Inhale. And on an exhale, place the hands down. Get ready to bring the left foot next to the left hand and come into your yogi squat. One breath here, straighten the spine. Bring the elbows into the knees, palms together, and push the knees into the elbows, elbows into the knees. So we're really creating a lot of strength or heat in the body. Inhale. And exhale, release both hands. Come all the way up into your forward fold. Bring the feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms. And exhale, straight to center. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Place your hands down, step the right foot back. Again, walk your foot to the side. This time, drop the knee and slide your hips back in line with the right knee and straighten the left foot in front of you. So we're in a variation of Hanumanasana. Normally we have the foot straight to the front, but this time it's more to the side. Inhale, find length. And exhale, release. Try to bring your head down as much as you can and enjoy the stretch along the back side of the left knee, of the left leg. Keep that micro bend. Try to keep your right knee in line with the hip. And to really keep your hips in line as much as possible, pull the right hip towards the back side of the mat. Take one more breath. On an inhale, look up. Lift the upper body. Bring the sole of the foot on the mat. Your hands to the inside. Step into plank. And down dog. Just one breath here. Check in with your alignment. Inhale, look forward. Step the right foot to the outside of the right hand and straight away drop the knee. Come back into your Hanumanasana variation. So the right foot is on the corner of the mat. or the outside of the mat, doesn't really reach the actual corner. Inhale, find length. Maybe place the right hand on the side of the right foot. And exhale, release. Keep your knee in line with the hip. And if you like, pull that left hip back. So you really feel how the hips are aligned. And you probably feel more of a stretch behind the right leg. Relax your head, your neck. Just a couple of breaths. And on your next inhale, lift your head. Lift the upper body. Place the foot on the mat. And come forward. Place the hands on the mat. Lift the back knee. Step into plank. And downward dog. One breath here. Place the feet towards the outside of the mat. Lift your hips even higher. Bring the right hand to center and lift the left hand so you can place it on your right ankle. Come into a twist. Inhale, find length. Exhale, twist. Inhale. And on your exhale, come back to center, opposite side. Left hand in the center of the mat in line with the head. Right hand on the left ankle. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. Twist deeper. Last time, inhale. And exhale, twist back to center. Take a couple of breaths in your down dog. Bring your feet together. On an inhale, look forward. Bend the knees. Walk your hands all the way to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up. And exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, lift the hands, lift your heels, bend the knees, and come down as slow as you can. Stop halfway, swing the hands back and come into hummingbird or drinking bird. Inhale. And on your exhale, place the heels down, come into chair pose. Hands overhead. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. And slowly come all the way down on your bum. Bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha. Maybe take some neck circles. Lengthen the spine. Push the knees down as much as you can. Hold on to your feet, your ankles. Inhale, find length. Exhale, release. Maybe bring the elbows in front of the shins. And come down. Relax your head, your neck. I'm not going to stay here long. On an inhale, lift your head. Lift all the way up. Bring the knees together and straighten the left leg in front of you. Take the right foot, Place it on the outside of the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Hug the knee into the chest and come into your twist. If you like, you can always bring the elbow to the outside of the right knee. Just take it easy. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. And on an exhale, come out. Place the ankle just above the left knee. Inhale, lift the left arm up high. Exhale, find length. Lift the right arm up as well. Inhale, reach as high as you can. Exhale, fold from the hips. Hold on to your foot, your ankle, your shin, or simply the mat. Here is round, relax the head. If you want to, you can come into a bind. Take the right hand to the outside of the left foot and the left hand behind you to the inside of the right thigh. Try to push the knee down. Enjoy this last little stretch. And keep your toes active, either pointing forward or backward, whatever is comfortable. Inhale. On your exhale, release. Slowly make your way up, back to center, and switch sides. Straighten the leg in front of you and just tap your thighs on the mat. And then take the left knee in or to the outside of the left thigh. Find length. Hug the knee into the chest. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Maybe take the elbow to the outside of the left thigh, left knee, and on an exhale, twist deeper. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, come to center. Beautiful. The left ankle on top of the right knee. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up high. Find length, reach as high as you can. And on an exhale, fold from the hips. Hold on to your toes, your ankles, maybe your shin, or simply the mat. Relax your head, your neck. Keep your toes active. Don't push yourself too much. You probably feel pretty warm now and you might get deeper into any position, but since we're coming towards the end of the practice, give your body a little bit of a break as well. Inhale. And on your exhale, start to release. Lift yourself back up. Straighten the legs. Tap your thighs on the mat. Now bring the bum in the middle of your mat and slowly roll over with the knees towards the chest. If you like, I'm going to quickly teach shoulder stand because it's a morning practice and normally I don't really do shoulder stands because they're very active and they give you a lot of energy. So for the morning I think it's a good idea, but for the afternoon or evening I wouldn't really do it anymore. So if you like, come into plow pose, and plow pose is with your legs overhead
and your toes touching the mat. It might be that your toes don't touch the mat, you can stay up here. Bring the elbows in line with the shoulders and your hands on your lower back. Make sure that the fingertips are pointing upward. And keep your knees active. If you can, touch the floor with your toes. Really push through the elbows into the mat and make really sure that they are in line with the shoulders. They're not out to the side. Once you're there, maybe lift one leg. Maybe lift the other. Maybe lift. Keep playing a little bit. Keep breathing, and once you're up, try to straighten the leg like a candle. Really push through the elbows. Bring the chest towards the chin towards the door, in my case, or the wall behind you. Keep looking up. Try to stay as straight as possible. And if you want to come out the way you came, with the legs behind you first. Maybe even interlace the hands behind the back for a bigger stretch. When you're ready, slowly roll onto your back to the mat, and bring the knees into your chest. Find a little sway from side to side. And straighten the legs in front of you. You need to create some space. Push the elbows into the mat. Keep your hands up high. Lift the hips. Push the feet or the toes towards the mat and come into variation of fish pose. Balance it out. Inhale. And on an exhale, release. Beautiful. Now you can stay here for Savasana, but if you like, you can bring the knees in and come to one side for supine twist or Texas T. Any variation. Or if you like, bring the legs up high and come into happy baby. Do what you need. Listen to your body. Because even though we haven't moved as much as we do in a normal practice, your body really has been working hard. Work out the kinks. Really listen to what you need as any final postures. And when you're ready, come into Savasana. Legs out long in front of you. Relax the shoulders. Relax your hips. Relax your ankles. Place the hands on the mat with the palms up to the ceiling. Let your body weight fall into the mat. Take a deep breath in and sigh out completely. And take this final moment to be really compassionate with yourself. Show yourself some love. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for working on your mental, your physical and emotional health. Maybe even your spiritual health. Everybody is different. And everybody has a different idea, interpretation, or definition of love and friendship, of compassion and loving kindness. And there's no definition that's right, and there's no definition that's absolutely wrong. It's all our own interpretation. So whatever it means to you, stay curious about it. Notice it changes. Notice how it shows up in your life. Bring awareness to it. And maybe see if you can inspire others to also lead with more consciousness and awareness in their life and relationships. When you're ready, bring some movement back into your fingertips and your toes, your hips from side to side. And hug the knees into the chest. Fold over to one side. Slowly push yourself into meditation pose or a seated position. Lengthen the spine. Palms up to the ceiling on top of your knees. Or if it's more comfortable, you can just place them in front of you. Just take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. And please thank yourself for showing up to the mat and taking this time to practice and just be with yourself. Namaste.